Guys, welcome to episode 28 of Shift Your Health. My name is Jackie Becker.
My name is Paige Poo.
Together we are
PJ.
PJ. And today, guys, we are going to be talking about tiny habits, okay? Little habits, but realistically that are going to be for the bigger goal, okay? And I think we spoke about this a couple episodes ago about like goal setting and like that being the catalyst. So I really think today will be... I feel like we haven't debated in a little bit.
I don't know what to debate on this,
I confidently,
don't think this is a debate.
I really don't think this could be a debate.
This is like an onion. There's going to be many layers.
Yeah, and hopefully today, you guys will get a lot from it because I think this is like a really good starting point for like, setting a goal and, then working back from it.
Yeah.
So how would you do it? Like if you're, would you set a huge goal first or were you going straight for like these little tiny goals that you're telling me I have to do? Or?
No, I would, I personally, for myself and, I'm working with my clients, it is definitely thinking about long term, what do I want to achieve? Like, what is my mental end game goal? That's something we've spoken about before. Maybe I want to lose 20 kilos and that's the big goal, but I know that's not going to happen overnight, right? So I don't want to wake up every day and be like, okay, well, I'm nowhere near it. Because that's really daunting. That's so daunting. And I think it's about, breaking it down. We have something here at Fit Tribe where we have a little goal sheet. So it breaks down your goals as a health goal, 20 kilos. Say I want to lose that over, let's say 12 months, or to make life easy, 20 months. To make life easy for maths, because I'm not a mathematical genius, that would be 1 kilo a month over 20 months. And that's really attainable, because then I've gone, okay, cool, my end game goal is that 20, but each month my goal is to hit that 1 kg, and then when I tick it off, I'll color in that bar to be like, yeah, I've ticked it. So I'm celebrating every single kilo rather than going, oh, I'm still 15 kilos away. Like, no, you've just lost 5 kilos. That's incredible, And I think people do forget to reflect on the small increases, but also what comes with that. Like I'll always say to our clients, like, hey, I know that maybe you haven't lost as much weight you wanted to in this past fortnight, but let's reflect on what you have done really well. Like you're smashing your nutrition, you're smashing your training, you've been so consistent. I've seen that over the past fortnight. Now it's just about keeping your foot on that pedal and continuing to show up, but continuing to remember those discipline, motivation, and goals.
No, like I think that's so key, and those I would always say the first step is you've got to set I say big goal, but like a big goal.
Just your goal.
Yeah, like whatever you're trying to achieve at the end, and then that's where then you set the tiny habits. Yeah. All the tiny goals along the way. I briefly spoke about it. Like my big goal is probably potentially 1 to 2 years away. Like it's still a long time. I have to be consistent day in, day out, and continually improve. Yeah.
What are the micro wins that you celebrate with your goal? Like obviously, this is a great example because it is a 2-year goal. It's one of those things that okay, what I'm doing now is going to get me to my goal in 2 years, but that's really hard for some people to acknowledge.
And it's tricky for myself, guys. Yeah. Like currently, what I have found is I have to do events along the way. Yeah. It's not the big goal. Like my big goal is I want to be the top in the world for Ironman. Yeah. But it might be a smaller triathlon that I'm doing, or like a running race because I'm a pretty average runner. So like improving my running has been a focus, and that really keeps the drive going. Outside of that like big goal, because it can be a little overwhelming. Like it is a very big goal, and but I also do think as well, like maybe I never get there, but like if that's like the big goal and it's motivating me, and I get like 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah, even if you get 3/4.
And I think that's sometimes incredible. that sometimes can be so overlooked because we go, well, like maybe it is too big, too hairy, too audacious, but it's like. What's the whole like the shoot for the stars, jump on the moon or something? No,
I always forget that one. Shoot for the moon, land on the stars. No, it's not. It's not that.
Oh, I feel like it is.
No, it's shoot for the stars, land on the moon. You said it right the first time.
I did. I got it right.
I was just trying to play a trick.
But it like that analogy is so true, guys, because I think so many humans we go, oh, but if I set it too big, well then what if I fail? And it's like, well, I know failing is just it's just again it's just the nature of what anything we do. We it just happens, but as long as you continue like learning from it and moving forward. But little off topic, but yeah, like the habits,
as we do.
The habits for myself, like, and I always say this, like I try not to focus on too many at once. Like I think that's a really big key thing for myself. Like, and I did briefly speak about it, like nutrition's a big focus, but this might be a habit for me for like months. Like every week I go in with a new thing I focus on, but I might stay on the same focus for months until I'm like at a point where I'm like, that is habit and I've got that discipline. So like for me, it's like, that's my habit. Once I'm continually doing it and it's a bit more of like a routine, then like for me, I've taken that next step, which is like what we spoke about, like discipline. So like, and once again, that might not work for you, but that's just what I've always found has been like a little sweet spot for me.
I like that. I definitely agree as well. I think it's just important because, even if you set that big goal, it's going, okay, well, what are the habits that are going to get me there? And like when I work with the clients, it's like, okay, hey, if we set a nutrition goal of say 1600 and you do these 3 workouts every week and we set that out in stone, I promise you now the weight loss will happen. I don't know how fast it will happen because everyone's different and I cannot promise you the rate we're going to go, but you're going to lose the weight at that rate if we have those habits in place. So then you kind of start to shift from, okay, am I just focusing on the scale and the weight, or no, I'm focusing on those tiny habits. And then obviously having like little things where you can track that progress. So if I'm going to the gym, am I lifting heavier? Yeah, awesome, I'm getting stronger. Like it's those little things that, again, you want to celebrate those little wins, because if you forget all the in between, it's all part of the journey, to get to that end.
I just always think even like events are something that is so overlooked. Like doing fun little things like park runs or a 5K or 10K half marathon. Tennis tournament.
A pro tennis player, guys. By the time this launches.
Paige wants to. Maybe we can talk about that next episode.
I just bought a brand new racket. Come at me.
She's achieved a tiny habit, which is buy a new racket. But like I think those things are fun little things to work on outside of the bigger goals as well. And like I think I really do hope for you the habits, and for you, like it's got to make sense to what you're trying to achieve as well. So that's why, like, if you are confused, like, well, you're like, well, yeah, I hear habits all the time, like, but what do I actually need to do? I don't recommend doing too many. I really don't. No. Like, I'm not an advocate.
Pick one, focus on that, become an absolute ninja at it, and then pick the next one.
Because I just think us like humans, we get so excited, and that's great.
Yeah.
But we get so excited, we're like, I've got to change this, that. And when you first start a health and fitness program, it's probably going to be like a lot, and you're going to be like, wow, this is a lot of change. Oh my God, this isn't running,
there's so much I need to do.
It is, but just know that it does get easier. Once you get those reps in and you go, well, it's just part of my life. It's my new norm, you would say.
And I think celebrating the wins with other people as well. I think that's, yes, you get the micro wins, you should celebrate it with yourself, but also, telling your coach, telling your friend, telling your partner, telling your family member, whoever it is, like celebrating those little wins can then also help, just have them on side to keep you motivated.
Definitely.
Motivation.
It all comes back to motivation. Guys, that is going to be it for episode 28.
I think so. 28? Fingers crossed we got that one.
Guys, remember, always join our Facebook group.
Yes.
This is where it's for you guys. It's for you guys to ask questions. We post lots of tips, tricks, all those fun stuff. Guys, that's going to be it. PJ,
out.